What's good? What's good, man? Let's get into it. Super Bowl week. Super Bowl week. Now, if there's not any breaking news on the NFL or NBA, Monday, today, and Wednesday, I'll be doing a review of why each team needs to win the Super Bowl. And Friday will be my preview on who will win. And, I just want to let this week go through and see who's not playing, who is playing. But besides that point, let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers, man, and why I believe this is their last chance to win the Super Bowl. Listen, I want to give a shout out to, all my boys, CG, David Mitchell, John Jay, David Corona, CarQuest, Crazy Juice, whoever's a San Francisco 49ers fan. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you guys. You guys have been big supporters of my channel. I've known you guys for years. You guys have been with me back when I was doing live streams on this channel. I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. But let's talk about it, man. San Francisco is favored to win. And I'm sitting back thinking, is this their last chance to win the Super Bowl? The San Francisco 49ers for the last, I don't know, maybe I'll say from 2019 to now. So what, 5 years, last 5 seasons? You guys have been in the playoff run, in the Super Bowl hunt for 5 years now. I'll say from 2019 to now, whether it was Jimmy G or Brock Purdy. And I'm thinking to myself, everybody has a Super Bowl window. Not even the Patriots, when they went on their quote-unquote 20-year dynasty, they didn't go from the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl in 2007 and didn't go back until 2011. And then from 2011, they didn't go back until 2014. So even they had like a 3 to 4 year gap where they weren't even making the Super Bowl. But you guys are in a position to win it. And with Brock Purdy, listen, everybody knows my thoughts on Brock Purdy. I don't think he's that good, but he got the job done against the Packers and the Lions this year. So it is what it is. So I'm going to save my Brock Purdy analyst after the Super Bowl. I'm not going to take a massive dumble over him like I was supposed to, but, we're going to see what happens. Maybe he'll prove me wrong or he'll prove me right. It is what it is. Here's what I really want to talk about. Kyle Shanahan. And this is specifically for all my 49ers fans out there. Even you, young ding-dong, even though you're an idiot yourself too. How longer can you sit here and put up with Kyle Shanahan? If he doesn't get the job done now, he has a second chance to beat the team that beat him back 5 years ago. If he doesn't get the job done now, I'm not saying fire him, but it has to come at some point. What are we doing here with him? He's 2-36 coming back from being down 10 points. He chokes on multiple occasions. And it's like, at some point, 49ers fans, at some point, you gotta, I'm not saying fire Kyle Shanahan, but I'm just saying, if you guys don't win this Super Bowl, like, what's next? Like, really, what's next? I mean, come on. I mean, this is a prime opportunity. This is a prime opportunity to win. You have Deebo, who's more experienced. You have Chase Young, Fred Warner. You basically have the same team from 5 years ago, even better, with more experience. And people might say the better quarterback. Me personally, I think Jimmy's better than Brock Purdy, but, Jimmy and Brock, you can switch them out, is what it is. With Kyle Shanahan, who's more experienced as a coach. Kyle Shanahan, who's fought off the demon of not coming back down from leads. This has to be your year, because I don't know what you do with Kyle Shanahan after this if he can't win it this year. Coming off of 2 weeks rest, he should be good, because you're going to have to pay Nick Bosa eventually, and he's going to want a bag, deservedly so. Nick Bosa's arguably the number one best tight end, defensive end in the league. You're going to have to pay Deebo eventually, who wants a bag, justifiably so. Deebo is a top 5, at least top 10 receiver in the league. And when it comes to Chase Young, listen, if I was the 49ers, I would keep Chase Young, put him next to Nick Bosa, because, Chase Young wasn't the best this year, but he wasn't that bad. Chase Young, if you give him a year with the offseason next to Nick Bosa and Warner and them boys, Armstead, he might be nice, but here's the problem. You have to pay all these players. And my point is this. If Kyle Shanahan doesn't get it done this Super Bowl, what is next? I believe it's do or die this year. Because for all my football fans out there, anybody who's watching this video, whether you're a new subscriber, old, whether you know me or not, this is the NFL. This is the NFL. And I said it on my live stream last night with my co-host CEO. I said it now. Unless your name is Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, you cannot confirm yourself going to a conference championship. You can't. At the end of the day, maybe a stretch is Joe Burrow and the Bengals, because when they were healthy, when Joe Burrow's healthy for a full season, they do make the conference championship. Him and his coach, I forgot his name, Zach something. I forgot his head coach name. But at the same time, unless you're Mahomes and Andy Reid and a stretch is Joe Burrow and his head coach, you can't confirm going to the conference championship every year. You can't. And maybe I should have made this a Kyle Shanahan video, but Kyle Shanahan really doesn't get clicks like that. But I'm just thinking to myself, if the 49ers don't win this game, if they don't win this, if they don't seize this opportunity, how long are you going to keep running it with Kyle Shanahan? Because them contracts, like I said, Nick Bosa, Deebo, and Chase Young, and if Brock Purdy, wants a bag and he keeps leading the conference championships, he's going to want a bag too. How long are you going to keep doing this with Kyle Shanahan? And maybe this is a video for the future. Maybe, I might cover this depending on how the Super Bowl goes, because I'm going to give my prediction on Friday, but maybe it is time to move off of Kyle. Mike Tomlin's a free agent. Mike Vrabel, you never know. Because I'm not sold on Kyle. I'm really not sold on Kyle, because I'm going to let you 49ers fans know something. If you go down 24-7 against Andy Reid, you're not coming back, especially with that defense. Like, this defense is not the same defense from 5 years ago. This defense on the Chiefs is elite. It's way better than the 2019 defense. Way better. You have a Mahomes who's way better in his, his fifth season starting? You have Andy Reid, who's more experienced. Like, you have the team that's way more experienced than the 2019 team to this team. But to give the 49ers the benefit of the doubt, they have a more experience. Besides Brock Purdy, they have a more experienced team from 2019 this season. But I still don't trust Kyle Shanahan. I still don't trust him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I believe, you got to win this game. You have to. Your favorite, you're coming, you had home field advantage, and you have to bring it home at some point. You have to sit there and say, it is time for Kyle Shanahan to coach up this team and let Nick Bosa, let Deebo, let Chase Young, and game manage Brock Purdy to a Super Bowl win. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about this. You guys have been given an easy schedule with the Packers, who are a year away from winning, the Lions, who are a feel-good story, but once again, the Lions are the Lions. You really can't rely on those poverty teams to really do anything. And you're right back to the opponent that beat you 5 years ago. Destiny's right in your hand, 49ers fans. Destiny's right in your hands. Don't mess it up. Do not mess it up. Because I don't know what the future holds for the 49ers, and I don't know what the future holds for Kyle Shanahan. But, because I'm just thinking, how much longer – everybody has a Super Bowl window. How much longer is the 49ers Super Bowl window? It's been 5 years or 5 seasons, because it's the 2019 season, but the Super Bowl actually happened in February 2020. But – how many more chances will Kyle Shanahan get with this talented team? You guys make a lot of conference championships, but you have nothing to show for it. You have one conference championship to show for it, trophy to show for it. No Super Bowls. And maybe I'm overthinking it, because you guys are in the NFC, and the NFC is not as bad, is pretty bad, besides the Eagles and the Cowboys, who are, in shambles right now. The Lions and the Packers, we'll see. We're still on we'll see with them. And you never know what's going to happen in the draft. But at the same time, 49ers, get it done. Now, granted, I don't want young Ding Dong and all the rest of these 49ers fans coming at my head. So, it is what it is. But, You got to get it done. But that's my thoughts, man. What are yours? What's your thoughts on my takes on the 49ers? This is the last chance to win the Super Bowl. RJ out.